to fill certain roles, by the end of the year still, and interview and screen and do all of that. So there are still people working. So take some time certainly for yourselves, but also keep your progress moving forward. Danny, are you back with us?
I'm back. I
Oh, good.
really,
Okay.
really apologize for that
No problem.
disruption. I lost internet for a few seconds and I am back. So let's get this party started. I apologize for my tardiness by 4 minutes. I'm Danny Catelli. Nice to meet you all. I think this is the most we've had in a long time. So 21 folks so far, and hopefully more will join. This is Accountability and Hopeful Fridays. I see a lot of new faces. I am overseas currently, so I'm working with only one screen. Cindy and Angel are my two so-called angels, no pun intended. They will be watching the chat session as well as recording this session. So I just want to cover this. If you can please put yourself on mute. Just hearing some background on my end. The goal of this meeting is to uplift and support those pursuing new career paths, fostering accountability, and instilling hope for a brighter future. I just want to reiterate that that is the mission statement of this particular group. Heather, I did see you all talking right when I joined, so I will reach out. Y'all were sharing some good news stories, so I always want to be part of good news stories. There's a lot of negative stuff, so I definitely want to touch bases on that later on. So, since we have some new folks on this call, and I see a lot of regular attendees, so I thank you for your loyalty. Um, but the reason why I started this meeting, this is our ninth session, believe it or not. And last I checked, as of today, we were at 120 members of the Accountability and Hopeful Friday group on LinkedIn. So that's quite phenomenal. But why did we create this? About a few months ago, I ran into a gentleman and he had been looking for a job for 2 years and he was really down in the slumps. And for those of you who have read my profile on LinkedIn, may know that I'm a military veteran. I served in the Army for 21 years, and I've lost a few buddies of mine to suicide. And I take mental health pretty seriously, and the career acquisition journey can be quite depressing, especially for those who have been looking for a long time. So I felt that if he was feeling that way, I'm sure there are other people who are feeling the same way. So I took it upon myself to start up Accountability and Hopeful Fridays. And the reason for that, why accountability is we want to provide some sort of a smart goal that you want to achieve by the end of um, by by next Friday's session. So in the following slides, you will see we'll ask you, hey, can you write down on a piece of paper or into the chat session a SMART goal that you want to achieve by next Friday? And then what you can also do is look at the previous chat session from last Friday's session and see if you accomplished those SMART goals. So that's the accountability part. And then from a hopeful part, I do not know if Heather was sharing, hey, she's gotten a job or whatever, but I got on the last part of that session. So we provide hope, right? I mean, yeah, there is some silver lining to the dark cloud. So there are good things that are happening, and we want to provide that so-called hope. And we always have guest speakers. Today's guest speaker is Dr. Nancy Wall, and she's going to be answering some questions from you all. And that's how we provide that hope. And the reason why we do it on Friday is because My mother always said an empty mind is a devil's workshop. So, and if you don't have kids, or if you're not married or whatever significant other, the weekends can get pretty lonely. Loneliness is a big killer in America. And that's when those bad thoughts come into your brain, especially if you've been looking for a job for a long time. So I wanted to do it on a Friday so that way you can go into the weekend feeling energized, feeling pumped up, and having that hope, um, and then go into the rest of the week. And last but not least, I cannot stress this m- more enough, but your attitude will determine your altitude. Your thoughts determine your life. It's, many successful people are able to control their thoughts. The more you are able to control them and guide those thoughts, the better off you will be, the happier you will be. And happiness is not something that's achievable, right? That inner joy is something that you are looking for. So try to control those thoughts and stay positive. All right. So this is our ninth session. I'm sorry, I did not update this slide. We've had seven guest speakers, four past members. What do I mean by past members? I do not want you to be part of this group. That's what I mean by that. So the reason why you're part of this group is you're in that career journey, you're looking for a job, or you're passively looking, just looking around to see what's available. But the past members essentially were members of AHF, and now they have gotten jobs, and they've moved on. And last I checked, we were at 120 members on LinkedIn and counting. We have grown and exponentially in the past couple days, and that's been just out of word of mouth and people sharing uh, good good stories about AHF to other members or other friends. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Dr. Nancy Wall. We have a guest speaker every Friday, and I don't think I'll run out of guest speakers as long as AHF is going to be around. I do have a lot of friends who would like to help others, such as Nancy. And without further ado, Nancy, do you mind doing a small introduction of yourself, and then also if you can share one piece of insider knowledge that many seekers might not be aware of, but would find incredibly helpful in their job search.
Sure. Thank you, Danny. And first, let me say thank you so much to you for your service and also for creating this important group. So amazing what you've done and what you're doing now and what we're all doing with you. And so I want to make sure that you get the rightful respect and honor of what you're doing, and having served our country and everything is just so phenomenal, and we appreciate you. So, so everyone, I'm
Thank
Dr.
you.
Nancy Wall. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said thank you. That's
Oh,
it.
oh, okay. Okay. Well, I am Dr. Nancy Wall, and I have my PhD in adult education, but just call me Nancy, and please connect with me on LinkedIn. My information's there. And I am a lifelong learner. That's why I have so many degrees and certifications and things, which my father always said to me, take the shotgun effect. So do a lot of things, and you never know when some things are going to become important and valuable based on your current situation. So that, at a high level is what I want to share with you. Take the shotgun effect, do a lot of different things. I have some other points that I want to make known to you and make sure that you're aware of. But I, continue to learn throughout my career. I actually spent 25 years with one organization, which used to be a big measure of success, but nowadays most people are changing jobs every couple of years. And that's seen as a positive thing as well. Whereas I thought it was very positive to, be in one place for a long time. I was very fortunate that I was able to do that. And one of the reasons that I took the job way back in 1999 was because I talked to other people who had been with the company a long time, and that was a selling point to me. But nowadays, that's not the case. So if you have jumped around, skipped around, even if you have a break in, your career history, that is okay. That is actually recognized and honored and appreciated these days. So it's very, very different than for some of us, and I won't date myself, but the way that we used to think about things. And so what I did was I found myself in a situation where I was offered to relocate because of a mandatory return to office or separate. And I really decided that relocation at this point in time with my home, my family, my life here in Tampa Bay was not something that I was open to. And so I found myself in a very uncomfortable, unknown, scary situation. And I said, what am I going to do now? And I feel that some of you might be relating to this also, that, okay, all of a sudden I had this career, I had this job, and now I am kind of in the unknown space, and it's very uncomfortable to be in that. Especially for me, after 25 years with one company and doing so many different things, I thought, they'd find a place for me. Anyway, that being said, I decided that I was going to just, look for a new role. And so I've learned so much that I am now actively involved in coaching and facilitating a number of different organizations that are helping at no charge for job seekers. And I can give you that list, but Transition Masters, Career Network Ministries, Never Search Alone, South Lake Focus Group in Texas. There are so many places, so you don't have to be struggling alone. And this group is phenomenal in order to, hold yourself accountable. It is obviously your responsibility at the end of the day to find the job and be doing the things that are necessary. But being in this kind of group with other people who are seeking jobs is very, very important. And as Danny mentioned, documenting your SMART goals, because you can go into each week and then you look back and you say, well, what did I really accomplish? By documenting and staying true to what you've documented, your goals that you have set, you can see how you're doing. And that doesn't mean that if you didn't accomplish what you thought you were going to accomplish, that it's bad. It means that maybe you needed to be a little more flexible with those goals. And maybe those weren't even the right goals that you had at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week. So looking back, but documenting, writing something down makes you more committed to it. And being in these groups where you can share what's going on, very, very important. So a couple of quick things, if I may, Danny. It's a long-term process, especially when you find yourself in this situation. It's not a quick turnaround time, which I thought it was going to be, unless you get very, very lucky. If you know someone, there's an open opportunity. So, because you've been out of work a week, a month, a year, whatever it is, it's typically not a short process and quick turnaround. Definitely network. Having an in is critical to differentiate yourself. Having getting your resume to the right person to actually look at that, because most of the jobs are gotten through networking. Everyone is a potential support person, everyone around you. So I don't care if you go to the dentist and your hygienist, when you can talk, when he or she's not cleaning your teeth, tell her that you are seeking a new job, because you never know what his or her parents do, neighbor, brother, sister, whoever it is. And so everyone is a potential support person, your neighbors. If you volunteer, talk it up. I know it's hard. It was very hard for me to say, I'm unemployed, I'm looking for a new job. But you know what? You never know who's going to be your advocate and who will have an opening. Resume has to be up to date, ATS compliant, all of those things. Accomplishments with metrics, very, very focused on the role you're applying to. Again, it's okay if you have multiple jobs, multiple roles. It's actually a good thing. People are expecting that nowadays. And I talked to an executive actually at Starbucks this morning, and it reinforced that it only takes one right opportunity at the right time, because I had asked him how he got his role and what were the skills that he had that allowed him to get that role. And he said, basically, I was just in the right place at the right time. He said, I can't say it was any of my skills or anything else, but they were looking for somebody. And obviously he has some skills, but he just really doesn't attribute the role he has. And he moved up in the organization, but getting the in was just about being in the right place at the right time. So you never know where and when that right place is. I know you're anxious, but make sure that the roles that you're seeking and when you do have interviews and offers, make sure it aligns with your personal and professional values, your passion, who you really are. I know you're anxious to get a job and want to say yes and get money coming in. I get it. I'm in the same place that you are. But remember that there's an opportunity to stay longer and be happier, because we only have one life, if you make sure that it aligns with who you are. Again, the responsibility and accountability is yours, but having these groups are wonderful. So if you can join accountability groups, do those SMART goals. And then I just want to end on keep the hope, because again, it only takes one right role for you, just one job, and you will find that right job. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But also look at the HOPE and think of it as helping one person every day. So not only hope for yourself, but if you can help one person every day. And I hope that I've shared some insights. Some won't resonate with you, some may, but I hope that I've shared some insights with you and that I've helped at least one person through this opportunity to share with you today. But think about that as you're out there in the world. I know we're very focused on getting the job, and we should be, but if you can give one person some hope, even if it's just, hey, you got this, you're going to do it fine. Or if you see a job that's not for you, if you can send it on to another job seeker. Or if you can just smile at somebody in the supermarket or walking down the street or in your car. You never know where that person's coming from. And that one little smile, one little act of kindness may change that person's life. So thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Nancy. Man, you touched my heart. I need to be smiling more, I guess. But you brought up a few good points. I cannot, Cindy Liu, I do not know if she's on the call. She posted something very recently, like within a day on the AHF group on SMART goals. You know, writing down your SMART goals, making sure they are realistic, achievable, timely, something that's 100% in your control that you can achieve. And eat the elephant one bite at a time. You know, it's like, hey, I want to get a job, but let me apply to 10 jobs every day, or let me make a connection with one recruiter every day, or something of that. So have those mini tasks